Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Regarding the concept of prophethood, the misconception that we are going to discuss today is the fact that there are two extremes regarding a particular belief, and that belief is that there are people who think that those who do not believe in Muhammad SAW, for them hell has been ordained. They have to go to hell at all costs. And now there is another group who, on the basis of a Quranic verse, says that if belief is not professed in the Prophet Muhammad SAW, even then a person can go to heaven or to paradise, because there is a verse in the Quran which says that if people are Christians or Jews or Sabians, they can, or Muslims, they can go to paradise as long as they profess faith in God, as long as they profess faith in the hereafter, and as long as they do good deeds. And apparently this verse does not mention the need to profess faith in the Prophet of God. So therefore, on the basis of this verse, people think that belief in the prophethood of Muhammad SAW is not essential. Now, it needs to be understood that both these views are two extremes, and they need to realize that the truth lies somewhere in between. Now, as far as this verse is concerned, if we pick up the Quran and view this word in its context, we will come to realize that primarily this verse is spelling out the basic tenets of faith, or the basic tenets on the basis of which a person will be salvaged in the hereafter. And of course, the basic call of religion is on these 3 points, and they are belief in God, belief in the hereafter, and the fact that a person should do righteous deeds. As far as professing faith in prophethood itself is concerned, this is not a primary belief of the religion of Islam in the very first sense. However, people who intentionally deny prophets of God, or any prophet of God, and for that matter Prophet Muhammad SAW, then this is a grave sin, and this grave sin entails eternal hell for that person. So denying a prophet is primarily a sin. However, this verse primarily is not enumerating these sins. It is positively enumerating the various tenets which are essential for a person to be salvaged in the hereafter. These are the positive requirements of religion. At the same time, as I said, people who intentionally deny a prophet of God, who intentionally deny, for example, the Prophet Muhammad SAW, for them, the Quran says that eternal hell has been ordained. So therefore, it has to be understood that this verse has a particular context, it has a particular ring about it, and if it does not mention prophethood, then it is because of the fact that it is primarily mentioning the basic requirements which will lead a person to salvation. It is not enumerating the sins which might lead him to hell, and deliberately denying a prophet is amongst those sins. So therefore, if a person believes in these 3 things and still denies a true prophet, or he denies the Prophet Muhammad SAW, then it cannot be said that he will be saved. He is destined to go to hell. Now, as far as the second point of view is concerned, which says that belief in the Prophet Muhammad SAW, or the prophets of God, is essential at all costs, and unless a person does so, he'll be doomed to hell. Now, this too needs to be understood in its proper perspective. The Quran is absolutely clear on the fact that there could be certain valid excuses on the basis of which a person, if he does not believe in the Prophet of Muhammad, he would be granted an exemption. For example, if the message of the Prophet of Muhammad SAW did not reach him at all, or it reached him in some distorted form, or if he had certain misconceptions or objections and he tried his best to remove them and was not able to. So these could be valid excuses for not professing faith in the Prophet in particular instances. So this particular thing could actually afford a person a legitimate excuse, and he could be pardoned by the Almighty. So therefore, we have to understand the fact that professing faith in the Prophet Muhammad SAW, if a person does not do so, and for these reasons that he does not do so, then this could afford him some excuse. However, if he considers the Prophet Muhammad to be a true prophet and he intentionally denies this fact, then of course there is no question of any salvation for him. So it needs to be understood that professing faith in Muhammad SAW is something which is mentioned in the Quran with these details and with these perspectives, and if they are not analyzed properly, one might end totally confusing one concept with the other. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات.